Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone along the spectrum. My name is Blue. How do you do? If you somehow stumble across this video and you aren't one of the couple of friends that I'm sending this to, welcome to a new video essay series that I've created where I discuss moments in media that have stuck with me and shaped my creative life. I say moments in media because these moments can really come from anywhere within our popular culture: movies, music, video games, and hey, sometimes even sports and real life. With this series, I'm going to approach whatever I'm talking about in the way that I'm going to assume that you have consumed the piece of media that I'm discussing. See what I did there? So, spoiler warning for what I'm talking about today. Also, I want the format of this video essay series to be a little more laid back than your average one. My notes on the topics are going to be very sparse and I may ramble at times, so I apologize for that, but I hope I can still entertain you and keep you engaged. With that intro out of the way, allow me to set the scene and paint a picture in your head. A popular pastime of my younger self was watching cartoons on Cartoon Network. I have such fond memories of catching such great shows as The Misadventures of Flapjack, Chowder, and of course Adventure Time. The setting of this story is a little bit different, however, as it involves me spending the night at a family friend's house, and not my parents' house, a place which I was definitely not allowed to stay up late and watching cartoons all into the night. No parents meant no sleep for me, and you could bet that I was going to use this to my advantage and stay up as late as I possibly could. And that is exactly what I did. That is exactly what I tried to do. You see, not very long into the night, I felt my eyelids start to flutter, and very quickly I felt sleep overtake me, and there I was, passed out on the couch. I don't really remember the last thing that I watched before I fell asleep, but one thing that I will never forget is the sound that jolted me awake.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The episode begins with a pan shot through space and attempts to introduce us to the world of Cowboy Bebop. Here we find two men. One is cooking dinner while the other practices kung fu.
Hey, Spike! It's ready!
I'm just about finished. What's cooking?
Special bell peppers and beef.
This is Spike and Jet, two bounty hunters that jump from planet to planet and attempt to live off the table scraps that are passed down to them. They are our two main characters for the episode, but we will continue to see their antics through the entirety of the series. Before we move on, one thing that I'd like to bring your attention to is just how abruptly that we are thrust into this world. While some people might see that as a negative in storytelling, I think the creators understood how good the premise for their show was and relied on the dialogue and setting to keep us entertained.
Listen, Jet.
This guy's a major player in the syndicate, operates all around the asteroids.
You said bell peppers and beef.
His name's Asimov Solensen. Are you listening to me?
There's no beef in here. So you wouldn't really call it bell peppers and beef, now would you?
Yes, I would.
This is where we are introduced to our main antagonist and bounty for the episode, Asimov Solensen. Spike is hesitant to chase after Asimov at first because, in Spike's own words, he is a small fry. But all Jet has to do to change his mind is mention the food.
Speaking of beef, they say in TJ, the carnitas are out of this world.
We then cut to a scene of Spike walking down the runway to a ship with Jet in his ear prepping, making sure everything is ready for liftoff. I can't really explain to you why this scene left such an impact on me when I first saw it, but I'm just gonna let it play all the way out here and see what you guys think.
You think you can trust that old codger? Nice tune, real easy.
Okay, so I know I said I didn't know why the scene made me feel this way, but I'm gonna try and describe it anyways. To me, this scene reads just like one you might find in a traditional western, where the mysterious stranger rides into town. You don't know what his motives are, you just know that he's dangerous. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it. We then get to see what Asimov is up to, and he's selling drugs with his lady friend. Oh man, that's not good, huh? To make sure that he's being the best salesman that he can be, he provides a little demonstration of the drugs that he is selling, and he proceeds to, as they say, air that bitch out. So basically, the Cowboy Bebop universe would like you to know that drugs are good, and if you inject them into your eyeballs, you can beat anyone, even if it's a hopeless situation in which a bunch of gang members are sent out on a hit to kill you. I'm sure you're curious what our main boy Spike is doing, and he is visiting a shaman so that he can get advice as to where to start looking for Asimov. It makes sense to me, honestly.
The red-eyed coyote will appear in the Zona Norte at the far end of town. That is what I see.
Cut to Jet snooping around the wreckage from the shooting that happened moments earlier. Unfortunately for him, he can't find much and has admitted defeat, sits down for a drink, but suddenly, his saving grace arrives.
Damn, just look at this. Asimov went berserk.
No joke. We gotta take care of him before the cops move in.
Maybe we should just let the cops deal with him, as long as he's using that red eye on himself. You can't beat him.
We got to. If we don't get that bloody eye back, trust me, we'll all be twisting in the wind.
Maybe so, huh?
Yo, tell me some more.
We cut again to Asimov to find he and his partner have stopped for gas and snacks. It's not mentioned in the episode, but from the research that I've done, the woman's name is Katerina. It is then when we are hit with quite a pleasant surprise. It looks like Spike actually managed to track down the bear. He doesn't immediately react, however, and decides to chat up Katrina instead. And of course by chat up, that means steal a pregnant woman's food and try to run away undetected as fast as possible. Man, Spike just really knows what women want. Surprisingly, however, after Katerina witnesses a random stranger steal her food and deep-throat a glizzy, she is actually more charmed than put off, and actually engages in a conversation with Spike.
Ever been to Mars?
I was born on Mars.
I hear they have everything there. Not like here. There's parks and festivals and the people are happy there. It must be a great place to live.
Sure, if you're rich.
After the heart-to-heart with Katerina, Spike drops the facade. He poses the question, how far do you think you'll get? He knows that they'll never be able to settle down like they want, because there will always be someone that's after the money. This question, however, is not one we get the answer to yet, as Asimov steps out of the shadows and proceeds to choke Spike. They use the surprise attack to their advantage and decide to leave Spike for dead, getting out of there as fast as possible.
Adios, cowboy.
We're then left to watch Spike struggle as the music cuts out and the light fades away.
Having ourselves a little nap, huh?
I had a sweet dream.
That's heartwarming.
Jet tells Spike that he's willing to cut his losses and let Asimov go, acknowledging how strong he is when he's on the red eye. Spike, however, has now taken it personally. He's not going to let Asimov get away that easily.
You know they're planning to go to Mars?
Mars?
But before that, they've got to sell these.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, I grabbed it out of his pocket.
You met him?
Yeah, so to speak.
He nailed you, huh?
The red-eyed coyote will appear in the Zona Norte at the far end of town.
Okay, side tangent time again. The fact that they made little innocuous scenes like Spike going to visit a shaman essential towards progressing the plot and adding little details that foreshadow the rest of the episode, it's really great. I like it a lot. Okay, side tangent over. We are now shown just how fed up the Tijuana police force is with this bloody eye nonsense. They are absolutely swarming, meaning that Katerina and Asimov have to be very careful and cautious on these last couple of deliveries. I think it's a nice touch that you can visually see just how uneasy both of them are. We then see a, totally innocuous and random man who we've never seen before sitting on a bench by himself. Asimov promptly walks up to this man and sits next to him, attempting to sell the rest of the drugs in his possession. Our innocuous and inconspicuous buyer, however, wants to play hardball. However, Asimov isn't having it. He has neither the time nor the patience to negotiate. However, before he can leave, the buyer reaches out and stops him.
Looking for this? Do you know how much you're worth?
What?
2.5 million wulongs, that's your bounty. I said you were a small fry. You look surprised.
You look ridiculous in that outfit.
Spike then gets some payback and blasts away Asimov's only form of income. We are then absolutely treated to an amazing fight scene that is choreographed to excellency. And I can honestly stare at this forever, but let's keep moving on. Our epic fight scene is suddenly interrupted by more hitmen coming after that bounty. Asimov and Katerina use this as cover to get away once again, but Spike gives chase. Katerina holds an innocent man at gunpoint and threatens to pull the trigger if he does not surrender his ship to them. It is then when we are hit with the bombshell that Katerina was never actually pregnant. It was all just a guise to hold the vials of Bloody Eye, and as you might imagine, Asimov is not too happy about this. We then see Spike single-handedly taking care of these hitmen and highly trained bounty hunters. However, even for Spike, this gets to be a little bit too much. Luckily, Jet is there last second to bail him out.
How you doing, kid?
Rotten! You're late, Jet! Huh? Damn!
Spike uses the distraction that Jet gave to rush to a ship and chase after the pair that are attempting to escape the planet. And this is where I'm gonna stop. And just like that, here we are. The reason behind this video, and one of the main things that I wanted to discuss today. I'm gonna let it play out in its entirety, without interruption, and I'll be back to explain my thoughts and feelings over this piece once it's done. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy one of the moments that shaped me and made me who I am today.
We'll never get out of here now. I'll never see Mars. Adios.
I think dreams are so important to us. They inspire us to get out of bed in the morning, and they give us the motivation to be the best possible selves that we can be. My interpretation of what this episode is trying to say, however, is that dreams can also be dangerous. If you cling onto one too tightly, you can end up turning into someone that you don't really want to be, all in a pursuit to see that one dream come to fruition and materialize in reality. Life is crazy enough as it is, and I think it's a little bit vain to expect that clinging on to one dream and expecting it to work flawlessly is not a really practical way to live your life. So, I guess the lesson is balance is key, and being able to adapt to whatever life throws at you. And with that wraps up my final thoughts on the episode and this video in general. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, week, month, year, hell, rest of your life. I'll see you next time.